Welcome to Timeless Prosperity. In this video, we proceed with Chapter 12. Chapter 12. Causation. Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. Nothing happens by accident. Chance is just a name for a law we haven't recognized yet. Nothing escapes the law. The Kybalion. The core idea, simply stated. Nothing is random. Everything that happens has a cause, even if we can't see it yet. The takeaway, chance, isn't a force. It's just a word we use when we don't understand the causes yet. Once you see the pattern, life stops feeling chaotic and starts feeling workable. The dice example. Why random isn't really random. Think about rolling dice. It looks random. I got a 3. Just luck. But physics says, the angle of your hand, the force of the throw, the texture of the table, air resistance, all determine that result. If you could measure every factor, you could predict the roll every time. There's no magic chance. Just causes we can't yet track. Same with a coin flip. Heads or tails seems 50-50. But over thousands of flips, the average evens out because law is at work. The wisdom, chance, is, I don't see the cause yet. It is not, there is no cause. Events don't create events. They're links in a chain. Important distinction. One thing doesn't magically create another thing. Events are links in an endless chain flowing from the all. Simple analogy, think of a train. Each car is connected to the one before and after. No car moves alone. The whole train moves together. Real-life example. A stone falls off a mountain and breaks a roof. Seems like bad luck. But trace the causes. Rain softened the soil and a stone loosened. Sun and wind eroded the rock over years. Geological shifts formed the mountain. Someone built a house in the valley. You were inside at that moment. The insight. Tiny events have huge causal chains. Nothing is isolated. Everything is connected. The soot speck. How small causes ripple forever. The text gives a beautiful example. A tiny speck of soot floats past your eye. That soot was once part of a tree. It became coal, it burned, it floated, it caught your attention. Your noticing it led you to read these words, which may change your thoughts, which affect your actions, which influence others. And it goes further. If one couple hadn't met 10,000 years ago, you wouldn't be here reading this. If we hadn't written this, you wouldn't be reading it. Every thought, every choice, ripples outward, forever. The comfort is that your life matters. Your choices matter. Even small actions fit into a vast, meaningful web. Free will versus destiny, both are half-truths. This is where people get stuck. If everything has a cause, do I have free will? Or is everything predetermined? Hermetic answer. Both, and neither. Remember polarity, Chapter 10. These are two poles of the same truth. Lower plane. Like with most people. Feeling. I'm pushed around by heredity, environment, moods, other people's wills. On the higher plane, masters, the response is possibly, I can rise above those influences and choose my response. So the key here is, the further you are from your center, the all, the more you feel bound. The closer you align with your true self, the more you experience freedom. Pawns versus players. Who's moving your life? Most people live like pawns on a chessboard, moved by habits they didn't choose. Reacting to emotions they don't understand. Influenced by opinions they never questioned. Blaming bad luck for outcomes they didn't steer. They say, I do what I want. But the hermetic question is, where do your wants come from? Who taught you to please what you please? The master's path. They notice their moods, desires, and impulses. They don't deny them, but they don't obey them blindly. They learn to choose which pole to align with, polarity plus rhythm. They become movers, not just moved. Simple analogy. Most people play the game of life on autopilot. Masters learn the rules and start playing on purpose. How masters use law to overcome laws. This is the practical magic. You don't break universal law. You use higher laws to navigate lower ones. Examples. On the lower laws we have emotional reactivity, rhythm, which is navigated by the higher law of neutralization, by staying centered. Fear on the courage scale, polarity, navigated by willful polarization, and from cause flows the effect chain. By navigating a higher law, we can consciously affect the cause creation element by planting better seeds. The promise here. You can't stop gravity. But you can build a plane that flies. You can't stop emotional swings. But you can learn to stay centered within them. You can't erase past causes. But you can create better causes now. The takeaway here. You are not a victim of chance. Nothing is random, even when it feels that way. Your choices matter, they ripple farther than you can see. You have more freedom than you think when you learn to work with the laws. Masters aren't magic, they just understand the rules and play on purpose. You can rise, from pawn to player, from effect to cause. As the text closes with a powerful invitation, man may use law to overcome laws, and the higher will always prevail against the lower, until at last he has reached the stage in which he seeks refuge in the law itself, and laughs the phenomenal laws to scorn. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. When you flow with the deepest law, the all, the smaller laws no longer bind you, they serve you. You've got this. One conscious choice at a time.